Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosazia of Missing. We're here with an amazing, multi-talented producer, award-winning director, and also an award-winning, actor as well too from Hollywood. He began his career at the age of 8, and he's been in theater, commercials, and all kinds. He's had 11 wins at Calcutta, also Dreamclave, and also Fantastic Horror Fest, and also Hollywood Blood as well too, and also in Rome International Film Fest, and he also appeared in The Warriors, also Spiderman, Pearl Harbor, the Broadway version of Cats, and Star Trek Voyager. And he's talking about a new movie called Ravage Nation, and yes, everyone loves popcorn. We'll get into that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Los Angeles, the multi-award winning director and actor and amazing multi-talented all across the board with Ravage Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Michael Moutsatsos. Michael, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. That's quite an introduction.
Well, with all
my whole life flashed in front of me.
Well, with all the accomplishments you got, Michael, I mean, it's worthy of it. I mean, look at what you did. You're a multi-award-winning director, actor from Hollywood.
Yeah.
You also began a career at 8 in theaters, commercials, and more. You had 11 wins at Calcutta, and also Dreamclave, and also Fantastic Horror Fest, and also Hollywood Blood as well too, and also the Rome International Film Fest as well too, and also appeared in The Warriors, Spiderman, Pearl Harbor, the Broadway version of Cats, Star Trek Voyager. You also been in the show, and also Slice, Stalkerati. You also did some work. You directed, you produced, and everything. The Exorcism, and also Parker Daniels as well, The Butcher. And you got a new project called Ravage Nation, which is all the rage. And before getting all that, Michael, tell us how you first got started.
Basically, I was, like you were telling everybody, I started about 8, 9 years old back in New York City. I was doing commercials. I was doing theater, summer stock, just getting out there, getting my foot in the door, making the rounds like everybody else. And then one thing started leading to another. I was doing more theater then than I was doing movies. Although my goal was to be in a lot of films, which came later in life. So I was doing a lot of plays, and then I did Broadway for 1 year, and then the movies started coming, and small parts, extra work, day player parts, a bigger part here, a bigger part there, and just started to build up my resume. And then I moved to Los Angeles about 32 years ago, still continuing in the acting profession, Spiderman, Star Trek Voyager, Pearl Harbor. I had a small little stint in Training Day. And from there, the acting profession for me was always a love-hate relationship. I got out, I did other things, I pursued other things, I got back in again. I got into writing about 15 years ago. I love writing. I love creating worlds and situations and people and places and where they go, and you're moving them. I feel like I move them like chess pieces.
I was just going to say chess pieces, like the pawn, protect the queen and defend the king, and you got your knights, you got just about everything, your rooks and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine not too long ago about the subject. And he was asking about writing. And I'm like, okay, well, then, you're moving the people. You have a scene. Say you're in a restaurant, a birthday. What can happen? 7, 8 different 9, scenarios can happen. If it's a comedy, then is it a horror? Does the waiter come out with a knife with the cake? You have to come.
You're scaring everybody who wants to go to a restaurant. You're scaring everybody. No.
I know
Watch out when you order a steak, okay?
I'm thinking of Kathy Bates coming out, and but then where do you want it to go? I mean, does the couple have a breakup? Does she say she's pregnant? Do they want to get married? Is somebody cheating on this? And then you have to write the dialogue accordingly. And then what's happening to the next level and the next level? So, you are creating your own world and your own characters and your own people, and they're living and breathing through you, but you have to write in their their voices. You can't write in your own voice, you know. And then when we get onto set, you know, with the actors, I was like, look, we rehearse it, we know this, we know what's happening. Just make it your own, make it simple. You don't have to say my words verbatim. I'm the writer. You don't have to ask permission. Could I say this? Can I say that? I like actors to improvise. I came from the acting world, so I know what it takes for an actor to get to a certain place. So I allow my actors to have that freedom and not pigeonhole them. And, you know, my words are not God. Say it and mean it the way you think you've done your homework as the actor, your background as the actor, and let's see what it does. And, you know, we can try things. I'm not the guy that does 50 takes. Usually without any technical or noise, something, we usually get about two to three takes. I've done stuff with one take.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, uh, it's not rocket science. If you believe in yourself and you believe in your crew, you believe in the actors. I constantly work with the same core people over and over again because they know how I work and I know how they work. I'm not in Video Village somewhere. I'm most of the time, 9 out of 10, I DP myself. I have other people DPing, obviously, if I'm in the scene, but I love DPing. I'm there. The actor is acting for me. And I'm not 3 miles away in a tent saying, yeah, can you tell them to no, I'm right there. You know, they're acting right in front of me. I am the audience. I'm the writer, I'm the director. I am the audience. Quentin Tarantino has said this over and over and over again. He's another one, and I'm a firm believer in that. The actor is a one-on-one, and they are acting for me.
That's rather interesting. You mentioned about Quentin Tarantino, one to be the directors as well too. Who are some of your other favorite directors and producers and writers growing up?
You know, well, I got to know a lot of people because I worked at a restaurant around the corner from where I live called the Silver Spoon, and I was there for like 20 years. And this was like before TMZ and all that nonsense. So they came from the actor studio, and most of them was on Fridays, but you never know who was coming in. But you know, I'm waiting on Quentin Tarantino, a Shelley Winters, Farrah Fawcett, Marty Landau, Joanne Linville, Joe Dante. So, you know, these are people over and over again, and a lot of them are legends and icons. And, you know, you just got to, you know, 20 years. So, I mean, as far as other directors or horror directors, but I mean, horror directors, Robert Rodriguez, Eli Roth, the old school guys, John Carpenter, Deval, De Palma rather. You know, today I'm following Ari Aster's work. He has a new film coming out. I love his work. There are a lot of up and coming directors, you know, that I like, but I try to emulate and formulate the Scorseses, the Coppolas. I study. I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm watching tutorials. I'm listening to what they're saying, advice given, and it's, you know, it's a whole library of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it I just hold very, very sacred, you know, and I try to emulate and live filming in that kind of a world that they're saying.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you talk about some of the famous directors that who are your biggest influences, producers, right, and all that. How about some of your favorite actors and actresses growing up, and how about some of your favorite movies growing up?
Okay. We'll do movies first. If you're talking regular movies, I'm the, you know, I again, The Godfathers, um, Scorsese's movies, De Palma's movies. I like Hitchcock. I love Hitchcock's work. I liked A Touch of Evil. You know, I love the older movies. I love Gone with the Wind. I loved what do you call it? Lawrence of Arabia, you know, those type of movies. Actors, Al Pacino, De Niro, I'm liking and actors that take chances. I like Keanu Reeves. There's a lot of new people coming up. Austin Butler, obviously, that just did Elvis. Brendan Fraser made a resurgence with The Whale. And those are people. A lot of the old school kind of guys are. I feel Hollywood has, once that era came and those people died off and stuff like that, these new up and comings are, some of them are kind of good. They're getting their footing, they're learning, they're doing things. There's a lot of one hit wonders out there with everything, with any situation. A writer, a one hit wonder, a comedian, a singer, a one hit wonder. So, you might have a big smash hit today and then have three bad films in a row. So you just can't take yourself too seriously,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Right.
I mean,
Exactly. No, I was going to say
no,
that's exactly the point as well too. You also had got involved as well too. You had some wins at Calcutta and also a fantastic horror fest and
yeah.
Hollywood Blood as well too. You also appeared in The Warrior, Spiderman, Pearl Harbor. Talk about involvement. You also won some awards. We'll talk about your work, but first, you listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com or 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, Apple Music, and also on BitChute, Rumble, and also on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, also on BitChute and Rumble, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. And most importantly, don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. You're here with the multi-talented, multi-award winning director and actor from Hollywood, from New York to Los Angeles to Hollywood, Michael Moutsatsos here on the Mike Wagner Show. And you talk about some of the influence that you had on as well, too. You also won some awards, and you had The Butcher, which won 65 awards, and Ravage won 40. And you also had appeared in The Warriors, Baseball Fury, Spiderman, Star Trek, Pearl Harbor. You've been on Broadway on Cats, and let's tell us about some of those, and also tell us about some of your appearances and the awards as well, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great introduction. You know my life better than I do. There were a couple of things on there that I forgot about. So, yeah, I mean,
it's all on IMDb. Once it's out there,
IMDb,
it's out there.
Yeah,
thank
I
you,
know.
IMDb.
I know.
Or DB.
Thank you, IMDb. Yes, thank you. It even puts your age. It puts your age out there too on IMDb. Yeah, I mean, I had, before The Butcher, in 2019, I did a string of about 6 or 7 films. I did not go to film school. I went to film. I studied, I learned, I absorbed by watching others, and sometimes also, when you're on somebody else's set. Those were my learnings. That was my learning tools, my learning school. I did not think that any of those particular films were worthy enough to go out there into festivals.
Mhm.
Because I figured, you get basically one shot. You don't want to have a bad name. You don't want to say he's an amateur. You don't want to say it looks like this, it looks like that, it looks like it costs blah 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 blah. Once I did The Butcher though in 2019, and I'm the lead in it. Maria Olsen plays my mom. Um, I started small and dipped my toes into the festival world, and I started getting recognition after recognition, and then I entered more and more and more and more. Obviously, I didn't win everything, but 65 is not bad. I'll take it. Internationally as well as domestic. Europe loves my films. Um, and then from there, that's when I did Ravage. Ravage and Ravage Nation, some of the characters are the same brought over. They are two different films. Ravage Nation's not necessarily a sequel, it's its standalone film. It takes place 4 years afterwards. I was bored like everybody else during COVID. I was writing a short called Ravage. Then my friend Phil Herman suggested I make it into a feature-length film. What started out as something small about COVID and dealing with that became, I don't know if you're familiar with the Soderbergh movie Contagion, where everybody starts giving each other, the disease, the containment, coughing, sneezing, touching elevators, that
Mhm.
whole thing. It starts off that way, and then World War III happens, and this one guy, Dean Taylor, survives. He thinks he's the only survivor, so then it becomes an I Am Legend kind of a film. Then it moves to the year 2032. He hasn't seen anybody in 12 to 15 years.
Wow.
So, cabin fever, stir crazy, yada, 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 until he finally does start discovering other people and creatures and zombies and things like that. Um, then that went out and it won about 40-45 awards, which is not bad as well. And I decided this is going to be a 3-part, but then I did Ravage Nation. It takes place 4 or 5 years later in the year 2036. Ravage was 2032. What I did was now I took liberties with COVID and made it the CV5 virus. Now, the CV5 virus, if women that were pregnant gave birth to hybrid creatures,
Oh, wow.
mutations, hybrids, one scratch, a bite. So there's zombies as well in this. There's mutations. It's dark. It's very, very dark. What I did with the main character, played brilliantly by Jake Scazzaro, he has 7 personalities, so it's split. Jake plays this so brilliantly. There's one scene, one take, 7 minutes. He goes from different character to different character and has a conversation. I wrote it that way, and we meet all 7 different personalities. No
Mm.
cuts, no cutaways, nada.
Hmm.
And he does such a brilliant job on this.
Mhm.
So there's Mrs. Maplethorpe, a proper prim British lady. There's Joey Fats from Brooklyn. He's got the stogie in his hand. He's talking. He misses the broads. There's Reggie, who's a 10-year-old kid who's into hip hop music and's got OCD and all this kind of stuff. Then there's Achilles. There's Achilles, who's a bloodthirsty killer. So there's all these different layers to this one particular character of Dean Taylor, and we just filmed in the woods, the mountains. We filmed in Sweeter Falls. We filmed at the LA River. We filmed at Escondido Falls. I just wanted the openness, the splendor, some places overlooking mountains and waterfalls. And we filmed at waterfalls itself, walking 2 hours to get to a waterfall and 2 hours to get out. We'd leave at 4 in the morning. You get there by in an hour at 5. You're watching the sun come up over the mountains, which is great. And you could shoot 2 or 3 scenes. Sometimes every once in a while you'll see hikers going by, but we're off to the side and they really don't bother you. And it's Los Angeles. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
We got somebody being killed with an axe. Nobody cares. It's Hollywood. And when we're 5 people at the most, it's not like we got a crew of 30, and trucks and all this kind of stuff going on. It's film and run. It's guerrilla filmmaking. But it's a lot of fun. But that took 11 months. We filmed when everybody can get together. We filmed primarily on a Monday or a Tuesday, and it took 11 months. But
wow.
It's out there now in festivals. It's at number 12 that just won. We're in it until like next October. We're in festivals for another year, but we also have it out in DVD and Blu-ray, so it is available. And I just signed with SRS Cinema with Ron Bonk. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. For North America distribution. So he's going to start getting me streaming on that platform as well. And now I'm just in the middle of doing another film. I wanted to put part 3 of the Ravage series. I didn't want to keep going back to back to back to back to back. So I'm doing Containment. And it's now about 7 friends that get together over a friend's death. He killed himself by suicide. And they're at this cabin and they're having a good time and blah, blah, blah. And this hiker is out there and he's doing his thing. And he comes across this person. The guy bites him and he has rabies. And now this particular hiker is turning into this creature, if you will. I'm working on the design at that. I'm in the middle of the script. So yeah, I'm crowdfunding right now on Indiegogo. And I have had a lot of people give me private donations aside of that. So I had a really big one the other day. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so that's gonna be my next venture. It's called Containment. So
okay.
Yeah.
And we're still looking forward. And we're still looking forward to it as well, too. And you also have another film that's coming out called Carnival. We'll talk about that along with your other works with Michael Moutsatsos. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. And brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-award winning director and actor from Los Angeles, Michael Moutsatsos, after this time. We're back with the multi-talented Michael Moutsatsos here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talk about Ravage Nation, Ravage, and also some of his career as well, too. And you've been in Baseball Furies, The Warriors, Spiderman. Maybe just a bit more about those parts and, tell us more about it, what you liked about them, and before we talk about your latest carnivore.
Yeah. Like I said, as an actor, I mean, I'm obviously not starring in the movies. I mean, they're bit parts. But again, they're working with a lot of the directors that also like being in a Jerry Bruckheimer type of film and Pearl Harbor, and I got to be in Tobey Maguire's Spiderman and as one of the generals, and yeah, I mean it's cool being on those. It's cool being on those sets, but for me, I'm at a different stage of my life right now. So I like doing my own stuff, my own writing, my own directing, that's why with the acting business for me, it was like, okay, you're not tall enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not good looking enough, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too this. Well, now I'm calling the shots. So it's my money and I dig it. I like independent filmmaking. Don't get me wrong. Somebody wants to turn around and hand me $10 million for a studio, I'm right there, like everybody else. Let's not fool ourselves. But, right now where I am, I dig it because everything is being, it's on me. Everything rests on me. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm I'm trying to evolve. Everybody evolves. You evolve as an actor, a writer, a director. Um, Everybody does their own thing today. There are no more rules. You don't have to do this, worry about a 180, a 360, the lens this, the lens that, the lighting, the this. Everything is completely changed. Um, Technology is great. Everybody's making their movies on their phones or there's, the this, the that, whatever. Lots of streaming platforms out there today. You're not relying on a studio. Um, so anything you can do to get your name out there. Um, and so far, it's been a great ride. Um, it's very long hours. It's you're crowdfunding, you're begging, you're pleading, $5, $10. It's that I hate the crowdfunding, the crowdfunding thing because I feel I'm begging for money. I'm also a server. Most of these films are financed by myself. I've had a few friends along the way that have contributed and they've got producers credits and things like that. You give me X amount of money and then you get this title in my movie.
Yeah, and of course, you're naming lights and all that stuff, just by giving a few dollars.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, they've always wanted to produce something. They didn't know how. Okay, well, you give me X, I give you producer's credit. You're on IMDb. Bam, you're a producer now. Go out there and get your, it's like that's the way it is. I've had people that no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you can finish up here too. So
yeah, no, I mean I've done things where a perk. You've ever wanted to be killed in a film? You like horror films? You've ever wanted to be where the killer, the slasher, the bad guy kills you? X amount of dollars. And I've had people do that. I've thrown people into my movie and they were bloody killed in the film. And it's like, there you go.
Now, can you do that if a person can't make it on film, can you do it as a CGI or maybe like a body double or something?
I hate CGI. I'm going to put it out there. I like the practical effects. I like the the Tom Savini way, practical effects, killing somebody, the knife, the blood coming out. But you have to do it in a certain way now. I mean, I've seen a lot of films where they do that, and then they got the fake guts coming out, and it's wiry and stringy, and the fake it just looks so cheesy. There's a right way of doing something and the wrong way of doing something. And then you hear this. I hate the saying, "We'll fix it in post." No, do it right the first time, okay? But it's it's that kind of thing. There's good, great horror. I think over the years, horror had gotten a bad rep for being so cheesy, for being 70s. People were like just doing garbage.
Right. Or so with violence, killing, slashing, and rape and everything else. Yeah.
Right. Just trying to be a TNA kind of movie with the girls, and that kind of thing, and hiring B actors. It's like, all these, I'll give you an example, these Amityville movies. I mean, talk about milking a franchise because it's in the public domain. I wrote a script called Amityville Legend, and I tried getting it off the ground, but I need really serious good money to do this the right way. It's not just ripping off the name. It starts in 1945 vaudeville, and then it moves to 1972, a year before the original killings, the DeFeo family and then the Lutz family, from Margot Kidder and James Brolin. But like some of these other ones, Amityville Shark, Amityville, there's one Amityville Toilet. The guy sits on the toilet. The guy sits on the toilet.
Does somebody really give a crap about the Amityville Toilet?
Yeah, exactly. There's a knife that comes out from the toilet seat, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Amityville in outer space, Amityville Shark. I mean, milking it. It's garbage.
Or Amityville phone, Amityville computer, Amityville laptop.
and
Amityville
nothing
social
has.
media.
They got nothing to do with Amityville. They don't even take place in Long Island. They've got nothing to do with the house or anything. It's like, come
Oh
on,
boy.
man.
Oh my.
And then it's like that old Mickey Rooney, Judy Garland. Let's go make a movie. So we get our friends and everybody's in the garage.
And of course,
and we're trying to
everybody
make
does
it,
the song and dance.
and it's like, ah, ah,
Hey,
ah.
hey, how about Amityville, like back in the day of what was it, the song and dance, Bob Hope, Judy Garland, and of course you
Right.
got what was it, Esther Williams and the
Esther
Swimmers
Williams.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Esther Williams. Absolutely.
I think
Yeah,
we just
man. I mean,
I think we just
God
came up with
bless
some great
everybody,
ideas
but
here. Oh my gosh. Well, before we get off this whole Amityville thing and turning into another crowdfund or whatever it is, maybe somebody stealing an idea.
right.
You got your own movie that's coming up as well too, as a Carnivore, and tell us more about that.
Well, Carnivore right now, I mean, we started filming a couple of months ago, back in October, November. Right now I stopped with Carnivore. I had some problems.
Mm.
I had a DP and another guy that was involved, actor, producer. I gave him a big part in the movie. For some reason, we filmed in Apple Valley, and then it was in 4K and this and that. I gave the reins over and let somebody else do the editing and the this and the that. And I don't know what it is. Sometimes people, grifters, con men, whatever, you give people a little title of a producer or this and that. I gave them the script. Then I gave them links to my movies on IMDb, on Vimeo. And then the DP comes to me and says, I don't like the script. Your movies are all the same. I'm like, well, A, they're not. But I mean, The Butcher, Ravage, and Ravage Nation are 3 different movies. Okay, so what? You're not hired to be a critic, you're being paid to be the DP. And then the other actor and producer, I don't know what their game plan was, but what they also did was they took the footage we had and was trying to make their own short out of it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I caught it on IMDb. It went under a different name. The synopsis was the opening scene of these 2 girls being chased by 2 killers. They're out there in the desert, blah, 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 blah. The girl's got a cut leg. The idiot is so stupid, he left my characters' names still on IMDb. So my scripts are registered with the Guild. So I reached out to them and said, look, A, B, C, and D, or you're going to see my lawyer. So it was that kind of thing. We hated each other back and forth. We stopped talking to each other. I'm not going to continue this a little bit more, but right now it's dead in the water as far as I'm concerned. Just because it just gave me a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't know what their game plan was. That you didn't like my script, but you liked it well enough to steal my script.
Right.
You steal my characters. It's off IMDb now. I spoke to the Writers Guild. Let's see what they're gonna do. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so right now it's off of IMDb.
Okay.
So
basically, we won't make mention of Carnivore, and it'll be just a lesson of what not to do when it comes to movies like that. So that'll be a lesson to everybody.
It's a lesson of not what to do. Again, I don't know what's in the back of people's minds. Maybe they did like it. They were stealing it, obviously, because you took the footage and tried to make your own movie under your own label and everything. I don't know. You have to, especially in the indie world. I don't know about regular indie films, but in the indie horror, there are a lot of cons. There are a lot of grifters. There was one big guy that they caught last year. He was doing this big crowdfunding. Oh, I have this actor and that actor and that actor and this A-lister. And these people don't know who this guy was. People were investing. I mean, this guy was like $500,000 ripping people off. They finally caught him, and I think he's doing some jail time now. But I mean, there's just I don't know. It's an ugly side to the business. It's not always that way. There are a lot of good people in the business, in the industry. You're going to get creeps everywhere, con men, people trying to ride on your coattail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm only worrying about myself. Um, Luckily for me, this hasn't happened to me a lot. I'm usually a bright, smart guy. I'm New York savvy. Um, again, you can be fooled by anybody. But just thank God that it was caught early on, and it wasn't a whole film done, and then a whole film being taken away from me, and having rights being fought back and forth and whatever. But right now, that's somewhere else, and I'm doing Contaminate now. So
Okay. All right.
a whole
We'll certainly have you back. Talk about that, Michael. In the meantime, where can we find all your works at, including Ravage Nation and more?
Ravage Nation is out on Blu-ray and DVD if you'd like to buy it. Just hit me up on Facebook, Michael Moutsatsos. I have fan pages, so just type in Ravage or Ravage Nation. There's links of how to purchase it, and it's going to be coming out on streaming pretty soon. And yeah, that's where I am right now.
All right, we'll certainly check that out with Michael Moutsatsos, the award-winning director and actor here on the Mike Wagner Show at Ravage Nation. Just a couple of things, Michael. We'd love to have you back and give us an update. And what else can we expect from you in 2023 and beyond, Michael?
Oh my God, I have so many plans. Lots of other scripts that I've been working on, and let's just see where the year takes us. Let's just go on that roller coaster ride and see what happens.
All right, we'll certainly do so and enjoy the ride as well with some popcorn. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Michael?
Biggest influences. Oh my God. Again, the John Carpenters and people like that I grew up with, like everybody else grew up with. Hats off to people like that. Your childhood heroes. That's what made me like the horror films. Oh my God, they could do that. They could do that. And of course, the Freddys, the Jasons, the Michael Myers. I still love the Halloween franchise. I'm still a nerd. I'm a big kid at heart. I love these kind of movies. Bring me there, a box of popcorn, and let's have a good time.
My kind of guy when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
And no Amityville either, too. So
no Amityville, no. Unless you watch the original Amityville.
That's right. That's right. So no Amityville, guys. Okay. So we'll do that. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Best advice, just keep doing what you're doing. Everybody has hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Don't let anybody put you into a dark place. Don't let anybody pigeonhole you, put you into a corner. Do not listen to the word no, or it can't happen, or it won't happen. It does. You want it badly. You want it bad enough. It does happen. Just give it time. My mom always said things for me in my career would always happen late in life. And she was right. Things have been snowballing and evolving late in my life. So she was right. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's like everybody, however you get there, we all are going on the same road. Some will get there a little bit sooner than others. It's everybody's different journey. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Mm-hmm. And certainly will do as well, too. We're here with the multi-talented, award-winning director, actor, living in Los Angeles, Michael Moutsatsos, here on the Mike Wagner Show, Ravage Nation. Michael, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works?
Okay, well, you can follow me on Instagram at Real Michael M17, Ravage lowercase 17, Ravage lowercase Nation. Those are on Instagram. The movies, Real Michael M17 is me personally. So if you want to reach out to me personally on Instagram, that's my handle for that. So.
We will certainly check that out. Once again, Michael, very big thanks for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have it back. Wish you all the best. And Michael, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Take care, Mike.